Hi guys, we are group 1 from BFN3094, Retirement Planning from Multimedia University. I'm CE.
I'm Nivita.
I am Huya.
I'm Umaira.
And I am Ali.
And we will be advising Aisha on her retirement planning.
I would like to introduce Alisa Berka. Alisa is a 23 years old female who is currently still single. In the first stage of her life cycle, she has graduated from university and started her career as a junior data analyst and part-time model. In the second stage, she planned to get married at the age 30 and have a children in the subsequent 5 years. In the final stage, she planned to retire at the age of 60. Moreover, Alisa has set the financial goal that she wants to achieve in the future. For the short-term goal, she plans to make a down payment for a car, keep an emergency fund, and apply for life insurance. For her intermediate goal, she plans to make a down payment on a house and miscellaneous fees, save for annual vacation, and pay off her car loan. In the long-term goal, Alisa plans to pay off her education and housing loan and save for her future retirement fund and her children's education fund.
Liquidity looks into two elements, which are credit management and money management. For credit management, Alicia gets a credit card to build her credit score after 3 years of working. She applies for the HSBC Amana M Power Platinum credit card, which pays a 15% higher interest rate than other banks. Next, for money management, Alicia has an emergency fund. She opens a savings account in which she accumulates 6,000 ringgit per year, and she opens a joint savings account with her husband once she is married.
Moving on to financing. Financing is often associated with loans. Loans are often needed for large expenditures such as college tuition, cars, and house. Managing loans is a decision involving how much you can afford to borrow, and then she will also have to determine the maturity of the loan and select the loan with a competitive interest rate. Arisha will also save for children higher education fund early to cope up with the rising cost of education. Besides, she also takes car loans in first stage, housing loan in second stage, as well as paying back for her education loan, which is PTPTN.
So, insurance. It is so important for Alicia to get insurance to assist her in protecting her assets and income against unforeseeable events. First phase, Alicia is a fresh graduate. Of course, she'd be receiving a minimum salary, so we would only consider getting insurances that would be beneficial enough for her in this phase, and those are the healthcare insurance and car insurance. As for healthcare insurance, Alicia can enjoy a low premium by applying this early, since certain plans do actually charge an enrollment penalty if you enroll outside a certain time frame. Moreover, it provides a lot of benefits, which also include preventive care and hospital stays. For car insurance, purchasing a comprehensive car insurance is advisable as it covers the damages and losses to your own and to the third parties as well. Moving on to the second phase, Alicia is now 31 years old with a much higher salary. She also has a child now who would really depend on her. A term life insurance would give Alicia that peace of mind as it offers a guaranteed payment that is affordable and to ensure that her loved ones can still rely on her when something unexpected happens during the whole term of the policy. Whole life insurance will also be beneficial since it provides both a cash value component and a traditional death benefit protection of a typical life insurance policy. It is more costly though, and her investments highly depend on her, but it will protect her income even in the event of a market volatility. Lastly, since she plans to have a house, as this has been one of her dream goals, she'd be paying for a house owner insurance to protect her house against losses and damages, which can be expensive. In the last phase, Alicia is now old and retired. She'd have no source of income and rely solely on the savings and investments made in her previous life phases. She'd be facing multiple risks as a retiree, such as the risks listed here. She would also not be purchasing any new insurance since she has no source of income. However, she had to apply for her health insurance early, so the policy can cover the necessary costs of the common diseases that typically affect retirees, such as heart disease. Moreover, Alisa purchased an investment-linked whole life policy insurance. It had provided her the cash value to cover such costs that she needs as a retiree, such as the added medical costs.
Next, we will be looking into Alicia's investment planning, which has been divided into the first, second, and third phase. In the first phase, Alicia already starts contributing through the private retirement scheme, where she puts in 10% of her monthly income. And then, as for mutual funds, it was advised by experts for her to start with Public Mutual's EPF scheme. In the second phase, Alicia opens 2 fixed deposits for 12 months with Alliant Banks for her house down payment and cash reserve for her housing needs. And as for stocks, she creates a diversified portfolio with stocks which include CIMB, RHB, Petronas, and Tenaga. In her third phase, she continues to contribute through PRS account, but now she contributes 30% of her monthly income.
Estate planning is the final part of Alicia's retirement plan. It doesn't matter if she's married or single and has children or not. Estate planning is not just about paying someone to distribute your wealth, but people need to know that the asset distribution is a complicated matter. It is a preparation of duties to manage a present asset based in the event of her incapacity or death. Since she is a Muslim, she chose As-Salihin Trustee Berhad, a specialist in Islamic estate planning, to create wasiat. The reason Alicia started the will writing is not just marry the distribution of wealth upon her death, but more importantly to ensure proper execution of her estate administration. She do not want to let others determine the distribution of her asset that she has spent a lifetime accumulating in the event of her death, because Muslims who die without wasiat shall have their asset distributed rigidly among the heirs in accordance with Farai.
There are some advantages and disadvantages for Alisa ideal plan. A retirement plan, also known as a long-term saving. This can help Alisa to increase her long-term saving through an investment portfolio and also help her generate stable cash flow. In addition, this also can prevent Alisa from spending all of her money in retirement. It also keeps Alisa from becoming a burden of her children in the future. There are also some drawbacks from her retirement plan. The important thing is that Alisa's current retirement plan is only a small step in her future plan because it is difficult to predict what will happen in the future. Furthermore, healthcare costs are also a factor that influence her retirement plan because healthcare costs will continue to rise with age and time.
If you want to save this portfolio of money for retirement planning, number one, your portfolio should consist of stocks that should consist more of stocks, should have a higher proportion of stocks who are in blue chip, defensive, or income classification stocks. Okay, so that means like that. Blue chip means that it is a big company, large company with a longer history of track record, operation record, longer history of listing. So they're large company, they're stable companies with mature product, mature services that you can easily distribute. They have a proven distribution model, channels, your clients. So these are companies which are safer, okay, and command a lower price to earnings ratio. So they are not as expensive. Their price is pretty fair. Okay, they may not have strong growth prospect, but it is stable. So number two, defensive companies. So defensive companies are companies that are not so sensitive to the economy cycle. During good time and bad time, the businesses still have business. The companies have business. Okay, for example, companies like consumer staples like Nestle, Farm Fresh, okay, BFN. Good time, bad time, people may still drink, okay, Milo, Nescafe, okay, drink Farm Fresh, right? So these are consumer staples. Another example like tissue papers, okay, good time, bad time, people use tissue paper, right? So whether it's economic good time, economic bad time, then there will still be demand for the product, so they will be more stable. Okay. Another example, foreign listed, okay, McDonald's, good time you eat McDonald's, bad time you eat McDonald's, right? So this is FMP example. The third classification of stock is income stock. Income stock are stocks that give you high dividend yield. For example, REIT, real estate investment trust, okay, like you mentioned before, is an example of income stock. Or companies that no longer need so much cash for growth, they will choose to declare most of their earnings as a dividend. Some companies declare more than 80% dividend payout ratio. Some companies declare up to 100% dividend payout ratio. So these are companies that give regular dividend streams to investors. So some companies give 4 times dividend a year. Some companies do dividend payout twice a year. So these are companies that can supplement your portfolio to give you consistent stream of passive income. So if you ask me, when it comes to building a retirement portfolio, you should have a higher proportion of stocks, of these 3 classification stocks into your portfolio, so it's stable and it does not fluctuate too much. Okay? In other words, these are companies which have low beta stocks. Okay, low beta.
Summarize, planning ahead of time decreases stress, and not only during retirement, but in the years preceding it. Lack of preparedness might create a shroud of ambiguity about the subject, adding a needed stress. This concludes our presentation. Thanks everyone who listened patiently. Terima kasih.